Welcome to Sage One Cloud Accounting. Today I will show you how to generate an invoice to a customer on Sage One. First of all, you would need to add the customer. Add all the customer details, including the VAT number. And also, if you are planning on sending the invoices via email, ensure that you have added a valid email address. Navigate to Transactions, Customer Tax Invoice, and select Add a Tax Invoice. From this drop down, you can select the customer that you want to invoice and ensure that the VAT number, the invoice date, and due date for this invoice is accurate. Where applicable, you can also enter the customer order number or reference number. Now, what I see clients mostly struggle with is when to choose item and when to choose account. And it will depend on your specific business. If you are a retailer of goods, most probably you are keeping stock items and having record of how much inventory you have. And therefore, you would use items. So before you could use items, you would need to add items. So you basically have to add the current stock that's on your on your shop's floor to Sage One before you can sell any of your stock. Now, there is a difference between physical items and service item. And for the purpose of simplicity, I will use service items. So I do provisional tax returns and I would want to track how much or how many provisional tax returns as a firm we did for the whole year. And therefore, I'm adding it to an item. If I just wanted to see how much of my income is generated through provisional tax returns, I could still just allocate it to an account and create a new account called income provisional tax returns. And at the end of the year, just go check the balance. But it won't tell me, in actual fact, how many returns we did. Because remember now, if you increased your prices during the year, it's not a simple calculation to figure out the quantity of services or items you sold during the year. So I'm going to just add a provisional tax return here and I'm going to say we're charging 100 Rand. Now, if I wanted my sales to go to a different sales account, because remember this sales system account that you've got under items here, any item that you created will lie here. So if you want to split the sales, whereby you can just see the figure for provisional tax returns at the end of the month or year, you can create a new sales account and call it sales provisional tax returns, or you can leave it as sales in your main account. So, main reasons where people would split this is when they have different divisions. So, they've got a division in Dundee, they've got a division in Ladysmith, and they want to see the sales per division. There's another way I'll show you shortly. But for the purposes of this video, I'm not creating a new account. Then I'm going to go to add the tax invoice. And I'm going to say I want to invoice one provisional tax return to this customer. You will now be able to see the invoice we just processed. So it will be under sales. And now you can see I've got different items here. Immediately, I can see the quantity per item sold and the selling price. So I can now see the invoice we generated just now. If I selected accounts, depending on the account that you selected, so for example, let's go and generate an invoice using accounts. So now I'm going to select account and I'm going to say sales, let's say taxation with a spelling mistake of 100 Rand. This is only a demo and I'm going to say save. Now, when I navigate to the profit and loss, I will be able to see all the invoices allocated to account for taxation. But the problem is, you cannot see quantities. So if this invoice was 500, you would not be able to see how many tax returns were sold. So for analytical purposes and analysis purposes, where you are trying to determine what sells in your business and when they sell more and why they sell more, you would actually use items and not accounts. I hope this helps you. If you've got any more questions, please feel free to ask.